In this video, we look at how tables in Altair Monarch Data Prep Studio may be combined using a join or an append. This workspace has a table of ATM transactions. It has the bank, branch, transaction type, amount, and so on. Next, there are 3 tables from 3 different banks with information similar to the ATM table. We have the institution name, branch name, and so on. Let's start by appending the 3 bank tables. Go to Combine, then choose Append Tables. Drag the tables into the window. This can be done by selecting each one individually or by dragging them in at the same time. Now notice that these 3 tables have the same number of columns, 9 in this case, with the same column names and data types. Such an append is known as a strict append. The resulting table follows the same structure as the 3 tables, and of course contains records from the 3 banks: Basic Investment, East Snow, and Paper Duck. Let's rename the result as Bank Transactions. There are other ways to append tables. For instance, the strict append we just did may be performed by selecting the 3 tables, right-clicking, choosing Append Tables, and then match columns on order, name, and type. This results in a table identical to the first append we did. There are 3 more options available from the Append Tables menu. You can append tables by matching on the name and type, or on just the order. For these options, note that Data Prep Studio will use the first table you selected as the basis for the append. You can take a more manual approach and customize the append as needed. Let's try that on the bank transactions and the ATM table. Select the 2 tables, right-click, and choose Create New Append. The first column shows the table that serves as the target schema for the append result. In our case, this is the ATM transactions table. In the second column, we match the fields of the second table with the first one. For instance, match the first table's bank name with the second table's institution name. We can also clear matches as well as do an auto-match based on the name and type, or the order. The last section allows you to edit the target schema further. You can choose which columns to include, set the data type, edit the field name, and even add columns. The resulting table now has the 4 columns we manually defined. Now let's move on to the join, which also falls under the combine feature. Here we have another workspace with a departments table containing employees from accounting, data processing, and marketing. Compensation data, however, is found in another table. We can link the 2 tables using the employee IDs to produce a more comprehensive set of data. To do that, you can either select the 2 tables, right-click and choose Create New Join, or go to Combine and choose Join. To set up the join, either double-click on a table or drag it in. There are different join types available. Under Standard Joins, you can create an inner, left, right, or full outer join. You can also create left and right lookup joins, and finally inner, left, and right negative joins. Let's use a left outer join for now. As we pointed out earlier, we will use the employee IDs of both tables as our join keys. There are options to select or deselect fields, and you can manually choose the fields to include in the resulting join. For instance, we don't need to include the second employee ID. Data Prep Studio also allows for fuzzy matching, where key values that are not exact matches but are similar may be matched. Our resulting table now has the fields of the departments table, plus the salary and bonus fields from the compensation table. As with other tables resulting from transform and combine operations, you can edit the join, discard it, delete the table, and so on from the table menu. Let's edit this join and explore other join features. Remove the key pair we have so we can see how Data Prep Studio recommends keys. This feature studies the tables and recommends the possible join keys to use. The higher the percentage value, the more rows are joined by a join key combination. For instance, the recommendation with the highest percentage is using the employee ID columns of both tables. The join types we saw in the join configuration screen are also available from here, and choosing a different join results in different suggestions for keys. In the Options panel, you can adjust the minimum confidence and zoom values, as well as put in filters to limit the fields to consider. In our case, we'll use the left outer join and the employee IDs as our keys. This brings us back to the join configuration with the chosen settings carried over. We can now prep this table further, apply transformations, combine with other sources, create summaries, and export to different file formats and applications.